Now I'm going to be tying this fly here. Now this is called a Parmachene Belle. Now I really tie this style of fly. This is a request I get. It's not the first time I've been asked to tie this fly, so I'm going to give it a go. Now the first thing I had to do was try and get some white feathers. Now I bought these off of eBay. It was a job lot, just natural white duck feathers, and then I dyed some of them, well, dyed a wee bit more than some. I dyed some red. Now they're just partly dry, they're not completely dry, but then end up with a nice, these are the two, the natural obviously, and then a nice red. So anyway, you've got to marry fibres together. Now I'll do this first, so I'm ready to tie the fly. Best to sit down and do a few if you can. Now I've got, basically looking at pictures on the internet, the fly, there's quite a few variants of the fly, so, but anyway, I'm going to be tying this one version. You see there's the white and the red. This is for the tail. You need a right and a left side. So I've taken a slip from either side. Now obviously you can see I brought these ends together and then just marrying them together by rubbing your fingers through. Get them obviously as close as possible. They will marry together. Just take your time. Now this one here, the white's just a tad too thick, so what I do is I come in with my double needle and take out one. Quite easy to do that. Then we do the other side. The white and the red. Red is on top. And again we marry them together. Just make sure they're lined up. You're happy with it. And again the white on this side's just too many, so I'm just going to take away, in this case, a couple of the fibres. Just bring them out and then take them away. It's easy to do. That's my right and the left side for our tail. Then we do our wing. Now it's white, red, white. So we start off with the white, and then we get the red. We lay that on the top. Just check the length. There's quite a bit of curve in these feathers, these fibres, so just need to work with it. Now you could use other feathers, you could use the bigger flies, you could use turkey or goose shoulders, quite good, even goose quills. So there's the red on top. So white, red, then finish off with the white on top. So there we are, just marry them together. Take your time. A wee bit too much obviously in the top one, so what I'm going to do is come in again, just remove the pointy needle in. You can put it into the feather, take it out, hold the base of the feather, then bring it towards yourself. Just keep checking the length and the thickness of the wing. And there we go, that's the inside done. Now do the same on the other side. White first, and then red, and then white. So there's our bottom. So red, again we bring them together. Marry. Top, do the same again. Line up the ends. It's the bottom fibre you're looking at here. And again, if you're too much, you can take some of it out. Now to take it out, I'll show you again, just push the needle in. Get hold of it, hold the ends of the wing and bring it basically towards you. And that should do it. And then we're ready to tie the fly. Now, thread I'm using, it's using a yellow thread. In this case it's the 80, the uni. The hook I'm using is this size 10. It's a Kamasan, it's a B170. I'm just going to run the thread down just before it goes round the bend to make sure this hook's kind of straight in a nice position. Using a silver tinsel for the tag, catch this in just before it goes round the bend. There's going to be a butt on this fly of you can normally use Ostrich dyed black, but I'm going to use some Rhea to suit the size of the fly. Now we form the tag with the silver tinsel, nice and tight. Go up against the thread. So we can tidy this area up with the Rhea, or the bit will tidy it up, so it just sort of tidies things in that area. Tail, and we go back to where you can have them coming away from the tail or coming together. So because the style I'm tying, I'm having them coming away from the hook, curving away from the hook anyway. So length, you're looking at the length of the body or so, to pinch the loop on top, 2-3 turns, just to get it to lie, get it in position. And there we go, there's your tail done. Trim this to balance the fly. You're looking at the length of the body, trim there. The rib's going to be the silver tinsel again. Now wait a minute, put the butt on first. This is the Rhea dyed black. Single fibre. Tie it in at the bottom of the fibre. 2 or 3 turns. Nice and tight. Just form a small butt with the herald. Probably like 4 or 5 turns or so. Nice and tight. You tidy things up at this point. Just making sure these all stay together. So give yourself about 3 millimeters at the head, because you have 2 hackles, obviously the wing to tie on, and the way back down we tie in the tinsel, silver tinsel, come back. Now when I looked the fly up, I found that many variants of this fly. Some had most had a dub body on it. In this case I'm going to use some seals fur. Some had yellow floss. You choose, it's up to yourself. So I'm going to use the seals fur, or you could use a sub. And then just form the body nice and tight. And we keep going till we're happy. There, then bring the rib up, looking 4 to 5 turns. Tie it off. Keep it quite neat, so it's okay. Now it's a white hen, which I'm going to use. Normally I would have used a red as well, but I don't have any. I'm just going to use this cock hackle. This is just a cheap Indian neck dyed red, and it the hen and the cock will mix well. A nice blend, so not do it any harm. We tie both in together, white under, red on top, but what I'm going to do is line up the ends here so they're both the same length. You can see where the white is there. Just hold the tip, draw back, fibres, both sides. Can we tie them in together, you see? So, a quick look. that's fine. You trim this. So the cut ends and we tie that on. Nice and tight. Wind both together. Easier if they're both the same length, so if they're two different lengths, it probably as a turn you would miss one. Now I'm looking round about 3 turns anyway, so happy with that. Across your thread, it's a 90-degree bend into the hackles. Just allow the thread turns to get into the stem, you can see in there. So I'll just trim that away now. Tidy this area up. Ready for our wing. Check the length. Just look at them. You see the ends are lined up. Same thickness. Just going to come in. So basically put the eye into the centre of the wing. And then hold. You can bring this up. And then you want to pinch and loop. Nice and tight. 2 or 3 times. Now sometimes I do go back quite regular. Just if they don't sit right the first time. Just have a wee quick look. If you're happy with the position of the wings, you can then carry on. If it looks okay, I'm happy with that, so trim this away. And then what I do is come from the eye, coming up, building the thread turns up and into the cut ends. Nice and tight. Just take your time, just form a nice head. Come in a whip finish. And there we go. Now having the wings coming away, they've actually come together a wee bit here. Coming away like this, you will get lots of movement from the fly, especially when it's in the water. There you go. You can see from the top how it's curving away. And then all we have to do is varnish.